Hi, I'm Daniel. I'm a sleep physician. And if you have insomnia, this channel is for you. Today, we're going to talk about how Mike slept much better than he usually does during a recent business trip, and what you can learn from this observation that may help you sleep better. Nice having you back here, and if it's your first time on this channel, big welcome to you and hope you find something of value here. Today we're going to talk about an observation that Mike has made. If you want some more background on what's going on with Mike, who has been so supportive of this channel, then do check out episode 69 as well as episode 70. Now, before I will read a passage here from an email from Mike. As always, what I say here is not specific medical advice to anyone, but rather general thoughts and advice that I hope will be helpful to anyone that is hearing this. That said, let's get right to this email I got from Mike. Let's see when that was. It says 1 day ago. And he's writing that I had to go on a business trip last week and I rarely thought about my insomnia. I don't know that I slept great, but I never once thought about whether I was going to have trouble sleeping or not. I literally just sat in the hotel chair with my legs propped up against the bed, and I would try to wait until 12:30 a.m., which was easy because I would get in late sometimes and then go to bed. If you're wondering why Mike was trying to wait till 12:30, he's doing what is oftentimes really the best way of treating insomnia, which is called bedtime restriction. You delay your bedtime and still get up early, so you're spending less time in bed to kind of build up a good sleep drive, so that will help you sleep better. So that's why he was waiting until 12:30. Now he said and that was easy. He said he then went to bed. I never really slept through until 5:30 a.m., but it didn't bother me, and it just wasn't that big of an issue like it tends to be at home. So thank you so much, Mike, for sharing this. I think there's a lot to learn from this. In fact, there are four kind of points I want to make here. Now, the first one is this one. If this has happened to you, if you find that you have a hard time sleeping at home, but then you go on a trip or you visit somebody, and then you happen to note that you sleep quite a bit better, then this is a kind of textbook symptom of what's called psychophysiological insomnia. Kind of a mouthful there, but it's not a very complex type of insomnia, but a very common one. And if you would like kind of to learn more about that, do check out episode 40 where I talk about psychophysiological insomnia. But just very briefly here, psychophysiological insomnia is when you don't have any particular problem sleeping, or maybe a little bit of tendency towards insomnia, but then something happens that causes a lot of stress. And even though that original stressor that caused your problem sleeping has resolved, then the insomnia does not go away. It becomes a problem in and of itself. And often it's because you start putting more effort into sleeping. You try to sleep more. You develop oftentimes bad habits of going to bed early, trying to sleep in the morning, trying to sleep in, trying to take a nap, etc. Now, when you kind of leave your bedroom environment and sleep in some kind of completely new environment, oftentimes, that association of your own bed and bedroom with not sleeping, the anxiety your own bedroom provokes is not there. And that is one reason that oftentimes you sleep better outside your own bedroom. And that's, again, a typical classical symptom of psychophysiological insomnia. So that was one kind of point I wanted to make. Now, the second one I wanted to make was the following. A lot of people with insomnia tend to, again, in an effort to get more sleep, become very protective of the time. So, you may have noticed this yourself. You may have decided to make sure you get to bed the same time every night, get to bed pretty early, and not do things that you normally would in the evening or during the day, so that you to make sure you have enough opportunity to sleep, and that often backfires. And again, what happens to Mike here illustrates that if you don't isolate yourself, if you are active, if you go out, if you participate in social events, etc., it is actually much better. So as we see here, Mike didn't think about his insomnia, which I bet is remarkable, because I know Mike has struggled a lot with this. So second point was this one, that don't isolate yourself. Stay as engaged as you can in like social events, work, etc. That is a good thing. Now, the third point I want to make here is the following. A lot of people with insomnia, and you may recognize yourself here or not, tend to, particularly when the insomnia has been going on for like weeks or even months, start thinking that there's something like seriously wrong with like their brain. It's often described as like, I have a faulty sleep switch. Like I just I probably have something wrong with my neurotransmitters. I have too high cortisol levels, or my serotonin is low, or something like that. People feel like there must be something wrong. Now, when this happens, like you leave your own bedroom and you sleep much better in a different environment, I think that is a clue. Like if this has happened to you, it is a clue that no, it is not, that I have a faulty sleep switch, or that, I'm lacking this hormone or this vitamin or something like that. It is like you have psychophysiological insomnia. It is the anxiety, stress, sometimes bad habits that is like fueling your insomnia in a new environment. Switching that whole thing off tells you that, it is not this like inherent, like terrible thing that is wrong in your brain, So that was the third point I wanted to make here. Now, finally, the fourth point I want to make here was a little bit of a little insight that I just had like 20 minutes ago. And never thought really about this before, but as I was thinking about this email from Mike, I figured, if somebody notices that they sleep much better outside of their typical bedroom environment, then it becomes very intuitive to then say, hey, let me just go sleep in the guest bedroom and I might sleep much better, like Suzanne from yesterday's episode has been doing. And again, particularly when reading Mike's email, it becomes a very intuitive thing to do. But remember this, the reason probably Mike is sleeping much better outside of his home environment is that he didn't necessarily expect that. It wasn't like he was traveling on a business trip to some a different bed environment to try to sleep better. So if you decide to start sleeping in a different bed, that is a sleep effort. Like you're doing that to try to sleep better, and that is never a good thing. So just a little thing I want to point out there, that I understand why that intuitively makes sense, but generally speaking, not a good idea. I hope this was helpful. Thank you, Mike, for sharing this. And as always, if you have a comment, question, you want to share something, leave a comment here or send me an email at insomniainsight@gmail.com. And as always, I hope to have you back here very soon. And thank you for today. Bye-bye.